Um, just so that I can answer some of the questions, and then maybe hopefully more questions and stuff comes up. Okay. FYI, I'm gonna do a live power hour tomorrow morning at 8 in Team Fusion. I just need to figure out how to do the video on this. So just FYI. Just kind of to give maybe some of the newer coaches a different, I mean, obviously they've watched Micah's and they're awesome, but just other ideas how to bust out your power hour. Okay. So Ari's on. She asked a question. Geez, I can't speak. And she said that she'd love to know if someone has a great coach onboarding system. She goes, I feel like I throw my coaches in and say, have at it and don't get anywhere. Is there a simple way someone has that goes over everything without just shoving them into a million groups? So I kind of do it. I still use the Boss Babes in training, and you guys can totally use that. That's kind of why I made it. So I send, whether they're a coach or a customer, I'm sending them a quick email, and I can literally show you. It's like a super short email. Gives them a sample meal plan. I let them know they're going to get one more email that's going to be adding them to the Challenge Tracker app. So I send that to them whether they're a coach or a challenger. Okay. And then I will add them to the Boss Babes in Training group, and then just either tag them in that first unit. And then honestly, like, I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to do it, but I feel like if people can't learn to be self-sufficient a little bit, it's not going to work. Does that make sense? Like, if they can't learn to look things up when they need, to go through the training without you holding their hand 24/7, then it's not going to, like, then they're going to be somebody that's going to drive you absolutely crazy, honestly. So I think that getting them, and that's why I made that separate page, so that they can have one group where they're just focusing on the training. And lots of times I get them added to that group, and then I don't actually add them to the team pages until I kind of see them going through it, or until they're done. So then really they only have the challenge group and that Boss Babes in Training group to focus on. So that's kind of what I do. I have a new coach thread, so like our Making Goals thread. When people go Emerald, I'll add them to that group. But I have just a new coach thread that there's not much interaction in there, but it's a place that I can be like, hey, call starting, reminder, call this time, or ask, send a call that was really good to them specifically. And that helps too, kind of just a place to have everybody in one spot. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like so many times we try hard to like find the perfect way to do it, and I don't think there is. So you just have to not confuse them and just check in with them. But yeah, Diana, do you have something?
Well, I have something in that I feel like I have not gotten my coaches off started right, and that's something that I'm focusing on now. Especially I have these people who seem to be really wanting to go for it, and I want to help them get a good start. So it's like I start giving them sample invitation scripts. And yes, I agree. Like if you're not going to be willing to sit through the coach training and do it at your own pace and do something every week with that, then that's definitely on you, because you can't just expect to know how to be a coach if you don't do some training. But I think I'm just trying to work on that myself, and I'm 3.5 years in, and I'm just trying to figure this out. So,
and I feel like it's different for each person. Like, honestly, you can even ask that person that like wants to coach and wants to go through it. Just be like, how do you want me to hold you accountable? Do you need me to message you every day? Do you need me to message you once a week? Everybody's a little bit different. Everybody's motivated differently. Like I remember when Bailey signed up, she had already like gone through the whole training before I really even like touched base with her. And so I was like, oh, sweet. You know what I mean? Where some other people, they might need more like, hey, what video are you on? Do you know what I mean? So it's just, yeah.
Do you ever do like phone calls with your new coaches, Cozy?
No, not well. I've done a few. I'll do like a one-on-one sometimes, but it's mostly just like a Zoom. I've done, if they ask for one, I totally do one. Actually, one of my new coaches, I did a phone call with her before she signed up to kind of just talk to her, and that was really good. So, yeah. I know that you like meet with people in person pretty often too, if they're by you.
Yeah. I have a couple people that are coaches in my town, but really that's it. But even I met with her and she signed up a coach that day. She hasn't really done anything yet. I'm trying to like get her started. But again, it's like you can't make people do the activities. So
Yeah. And honestly, like the best thing I think is just to help them get started, because sometimes when you throw them in, that's super overwhelming. Depends on the person. So just like making sure that they're watching one of the getting started right calls, having them get on one of those, and then even that push to Emerald call. And then I always tell them it's self-paced. Like if you can only do one a day, then do it. If you need to do one and then implement that, do you know what I mean? Like let them know that they can obviously work at their own pace. But like I also am like, I'm also here to push you a little bit too. You know, it's okay to give a little tough love sometimes. It's actually good. Obviously, some people can't take it, but for the most part, it's good to give everybody a little bit of like push and come on, you can do it type of thing. So, yeah. And I think, yeah, that's what I would do. Does that help, Ari, at all? She might be frozen, but I think she's frozen. I think you definitely utilize that Boss Basin in training, all of you. You can add anybody to that group. So totally utilize it. Ari, were you frozen? Does that help at all answer your question? Okay. Okay. Does anybody else have any other specific questions about anything? Or if you're doing something that has been working the last week, what's going on? Bridget, do you have any questions?
I have something. So I found that like my biggest issue is once they say, hey, send me information or I want details, I like trying so hard to like shorten it up. So I know we have like that one post that you posted in the Team Fusion where it was like, what are you guys using right now for invites? And those were super awesome. And I like have used a lot of those from the team. So I was wondering if we could do something like that, but for like information, just to kind of see, like, because I have like the first one I ever got that's like a list, you know, but I just want to kind of see like what everybody else is using to kind of see like how I can shorten it up and make it more personalized to me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And that's super good because so many people, I honestly think that sometimes if I'm not in the mood to invite, which is most days, let's be honest, but sometimes I'm like, I don't want to respond when they do want information or they don't want information. It sounds so bad, but I'm like, sometimes I don't want them to say anything because I don't want to just chit chat, you know? So having like something super easy, especially at the beginning, it's hard to know what to say.
Yeah. And like, I've got a couple that have asked me for information and then I've been like, as soon as I'm back at my desk or whatever, I like kind of like stall because I'm like, I got to figure out what I'm going to say to them first. So I think if I had something that kind of like just general that I can plug in a few different things would be cool.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll do that. I'll do a post like that tonight. And then people can just, sure, Diana has some, whoever has some that just gives the information. And honestly, if you're comfortable, once you get comfortable, I think sending a voice message is one of the best ways to just,
yeah.
I mean, I can send all the information I need in 2 voice messages.
Yeah.
Kind of let them know, like explain the
group. I think a voice message is probably a little less overwhelming too for them.
Yeah, for sure. And instead of like reading through this big novel and personalize, but sometimes you just need to like get your thoughts together. So I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do that.
Cool. Yeah, I think it also helps you get used to, like when you're using voice messages, it gets you used to talking and sounding confident in what you're doing. Like, and I would just practice. Like if you're not used to voice messaging people, like just practice sending them to yourself on Messenger, and then see how you sound, because it's like night and day between how people see you, because anyone can copy and paste a format message. But if you're like on Instagram, especially, you can't voice message and then copy that and send it to people. It's like on there, you have that one crack at it with the person, and you can't just like duplicate that. So, and it's okay to like send, like last night I got on a roll where I had 70 likes on my most recent picture on Instagram. So I just voice messaged like 10 people right in a row. I said the same thing, but I used their names, and then I just was able to invite that way.
Yeah, that's super easy and good. And honestly, people like to hear your voice, because I've even had people say, even before I had very many followers on Instagram, people would be like, is this really you? I'm like, yeah, it's really me, So I think sometimes people want to know that it's actually you they're talking to. So that's good. So I just made a graphic real quick, so I'll post that and people can comment some of those. So Kylie just said she's having a hard time finding the best account following system. Stim followed so many people I can't even see family and friends stuff anymore. What do you use? I still use 21 Social. I like 21 Social. I actually have never stopped using 21 Social. But one, if you are using like Stim Social, you can slow that down. And you guys, like 21 Social Stim is just something that you can link to your Instagram, and it will help follow people for you, so that you, like, while you're at work or while you're sleeping, they'll follow accounts for you, but you kind of give them a target to do it. I've found that you need your target accounts, so meaning like certain bloggers or don't obviously do Beachbody people, but any other like fun Instagram people that you like to follow, that you think that your people, like the people that that have following their account and you are kind of the same. I've heard to make sure that they go to their posts and actually make sure they get interaction on their posts, like make sure they have comments and likes, and don't do one that's if they have over 100,000 followers, because then there's just too many for them to go through. That's what the 21 Social people told me, that it's best to use accounts that are around 30,000 to like 65, 70,000 followers, that you use accounts to target. So hopefully that helps. But I don't know if that's what you were asking exactly. But I think that...
Isn't there a way to like mark people as close family and friends on there too? So it's like if you wanted to make sure you were seeing your family stuff, you could do that. But
yeah, so say you I'll go to like certain family and friends that you haven't seen that you really want to see. So go to their page. So I'll just go to Micah, and those three, can't see it. Those three dots at the top. Okay, it's changed. Oh, where it says following. So click following, and then you can you can mark it as close friend, or you can mark it as turn on notifications whenever they make a post. Then you'll just get a notification, so it knows that you can go, and then you'll see their stuff more in your normal feed. That makes sense? So there's people that I have that set, or people, I even do that with people that are like my like perfect coach that has not committed, but like she's my perfect person. And I'll like set that to where I always know that I can like interact when she posts. So I have a few of those. Yeah, follow less popular accounts. Cause I was even following some people like that were on The Bachelor, or just people that all of a sudden had a ton of followers that I did like. And they were like, no, you don't want to follow people that have that many followers. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So yeah. Bridget asked, struggling going from just conversation to more, need help with the transition. I guess my computer is having a case of the Tuesdays. She just got to mute herself. Honestly, I think that's like the question of the year, like of the century, because that's hard. It's totally different for everybody. Like it's different for everybody you're talking to, where Micah always says, don't think of like, just talk to people. Don't always be like, how am I going to turn this into an invite? How am I going to turn this into an invite? Just talk to them about whatever. And then when you are inviting to a group, you can just be like, hey, you should totally do my group, blah, blah, blah. I've loved getting to know you. Like, you don't have to be weird about it. But the fact that you've already like talked to them, you don't have to always try to think of how am I going to transition this? Like, if you're inviting to a group, then just invite them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, did you hear the National Wake Up Call this week? Because he made a lot of good points about how he's just, if people will converse with him in conversations, he'll just set it so it's like, okay, first conversation this week. Next, I'm going to put it on my calendar. Next week, I'm going to go interact with some of their stuff and maybe continue the conversation. And then, like by 2 weeks in, like after the third conversation, then he says, "Oh, hey, I don't know if you're interested in anything like this, but like my wife and I are running this boot camp and blah blah blah." So then he had his own like spiel there, but that way, he didn't try to find a way to weave it in. It was just like having a nice conversation, and then you had something to invite to, so you invited them.
Yeah. And I think that I just think just be normal. And then it's like saying you go and hang out with your friends all the time, and then all of a sudden there's a new restaurant. You just ask them to go. You just invite them. Do you know what I mean? Don't feel like you have to, like, so maybe try that. Just have normal conversations with them, get to know them as a person. And then when you want to invite to a challenge group, just invite them. And I'm like been so short and sweet with my invites because I'm just trying something totally different. Like my invites I've been sending this week, I'll read it to you. It's like the same. I just wrote, hey girl, I'm getting my group of ladies for my May boot camp. Want info? Is now a better time. Super. And then like just a smiley emoji. That's it. So it's nothing like, it's not like, hey, how are you? Actually, do you want to join my group? I just asked. Like, but these are people I've been talking to, like that I've connected with. I've commented on their stories. They've commented on mine. Like we've just been talking as friends, and then I'm just inviting them. So
then something that was on, I think it was the Heather Shipley call. She was saying that she doesn't think of any of the people who are following her as cold messages, or cold invites, because they're following you or they're watching your stories or they're interacting in some way. So even just go to your list of followers. Like if you want to bust out some serious invites in a day, just send them a simple message, like say, hey, thanks. Well, first of all, just go to their page and like maybe like a couple pictures or something. But then just send them a message, say, hey, I just want to say thanks for being somebody who follows me on here. I enjoy following your page too. I don't know if you're interested, but I have this cool new online boot camp going on. Would you like some more information? And then,
leave it at that. Super short and sweet. Yeah. So don't overthink it. And I think that's because I've kind of gotten away from, it's made connecting actually more fun when I'm not in the back of my mind always thinking like, how am I going to turn this into an invite? Where I can just like, no, this is just connecting. I'm just talking to them. And then an invite is something totally different, like a different conversation. So yeah, try that and see if that helps at all. Does anybody have any other questions about anything? Abby, how are you doing? Good.
I'm doing good.
Good. Yeah. Saw your transformations. Your posts are awesome.
Thank you.
So, Randy, any questions? No? I think you were on the call earlier today too, weren't you? If you guys didn't watch if you didn't watch the recording of the Getting Started Right call, it was good. It's not very long. Skip to call or minute 7, I think Micah said. And then we kind of get into it, but it was really good and short. Do you have a question, Abby? Okay. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I have a family that wants to join, and I'm not sure the best way to set them up because it's like a daughter, mom, and father. So I didn't know if it would be best to set the daughter up so then the mom and dad could just go under her, or how kind of the best way to do that would be.
Do you think any of them would potentially work the business like later on down the road, specifically one more than the other?
Yes, I think the daughter is,
Wanting to?
wanting to. That was kind of the one that mainly said, hey, yeah, I want to join. So
So that's what I would totally just have her sign up under you. So that would make you Emerald, right? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then help her do a share cart for her parents under her account. And then that's awesome, because then she kind of gets that quick win and that quick, like, hey, I got a little paycheck, or you know what I mean? It helps. And then it helps with you, get her to get those quick wins. So I would have her sign up under you, and then have the mom and dad sign up under her.
Okay.
That makes
That's
sense.
what I was kind of thinking, but I wasn't sure if that was the best way to go.
Yeah, and just have her parents sign up as a coach account too for the discount, and then she's halfway to Emerald. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, if her parents are still like in the same household and together, then she can totally sign even one of them up, and then have them sign up with the coach account. And then if they need more stuff, then they can always order more with that discount too. So that's what I would do for sure. Awesome. Braxton and Paisley are on. Marty. It's funny. Any questions? Any other questions? I don't want to like keep you guys here if you guys don't have specific questions, but I think that the questions that were asked were good, and hopefully that kind of helped answer some questions that you guys have been struggling with. However you guys are tracking, just do what works for you. Do what works for you, however that may be. I am really liking the Rise Up one. It's been good, because I'm not going to lie, I've kind of like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes you've been doing this for a while, like I have not lost my vision, but I've met a lot of the goals that I have, that when I started that I had. And so it helped me a ton, like revisit my vision, rewrite all that down, and it's been awesome. So I like it. Or just the Success Club tracker, systems tracker is awesome. So really, you guys, that's all you need to do. If you're super consistent with that and just get it done every day, you guys, your business will grow. You just have to do it every day. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, maybe comment what trackers you're using, or if you're just doing pen and paper. I'm just curious what people are using. Ashley talks about it in the Getting Started Right call, but this too, she had this made, and it was, well, I think Bailey uses this. Yeah. So she had it printed where it's 52 pages of the Success Club systems tracker and then just a blank page where it's the people you've contacted this week, and notes to where you can write up and be like, hey, did they say yes, or did they say next week or next month? And then you have a check to where you can follow up with them. So even something like that is super awesome. But we talked about that, and I think she's trying to find like a PDF document, because I think she went and had this printed at Staples, and it was like $17. So like something like that, if that's super easy for you guys. But once I know, I will let you guys know if you want to print something like that off. But oh yeah, I remember Marty, you had that book, Success Club Tracker, yes, and the Rise Up Journal. Yeah, I'm still doing kind of both. I still do the daily check-in one just so I can write names down, but I'm still doing both too. And you guys, today I busted it out. Probably my normal power hour, it probably took 45 minutes. You can bust it out, and the faster you get, you just go faster and faster. Oh yeah, Bridget said she put her Success Club tracker in a page protector so she can just erase it. That's awesome. And then she uses a notebook, I assume, for just writing people's names down. Awesome. And if you guys ever need to revisit like the best way to use the Success Club tracker, Micah did a good video about, she broke each section down. So if you guys ever need that, then let me know and I can find that for you. But yeah, super easy. Currently just writing names down. That's totally good though, Abby. That's awesome, because I did that for like years and it still worked. So you're good.
The important thing is you're doing tracking. That's the only requirement.
Yeah, just some way to track your business, because I'll be super honest. Like there's been times where I like haven't been tracking, you kind of slack with it a little bit, and then you think you're doing all the things, and then you wonder why you are not being able to hit Success Club, and then you go back and you're like, oh duh, because I've actually not sent 10 invites, I've only sent 2. Like we think we are always doing more than we are, just like our nutrition. How many times you're like, oh, I didn't eat that much, and then you don't count all the little bites in between everything, and then it all adds up. Like it's an extra like 300, 400 calories throughout the day that if you're not tracking, that's going to make or break the difference if you're going to see results or not. So same thing with your business. So sweet. Okay. Thanks for hopping on. Marty, I love his little chubby cheeks. So chubby. But you guys, thanks for hopping on. Hopefully that's helpful. I'm trying to have a guest speaker for next week. So I'll keep you posted on that. Okay. Thanks for getting on. I appreciate you guys like always taking the time to get on. Makes it more fun for me. So
Thank you too, Cozy.
you're welcome. Bye guys. Have a good night.